We're ready. This is great. I love this. This is my favorite when I just everything's screwed up. Welcome back to to Arizona from San Diego.
It's when
Broadcasting to you live.
things are good.
Things are great. All right. Ready and cheers. Hello and welcome to the How to Hobby podcast. My name is John Power. I'm going to be your host this evening. Alongside me is my rip-roaring co-host, Sean Bennett, tonight. And we are bringing you another episode 62. It's been a journey here. I've made some life changes. I've got a mustache, and we are moving into building blocks for cooking. So this is for all you cooking people who are just scared. You're just scared, nervous about how to dive into something new, something you have never done before. Am I going to burn it? Am I going to sear it? Am I going to taste it? Well, we're going to answer all these questions tonight and more on this episode of the podcast. Sean, it's not a mistake. It's a design feature, and you're here to lead the way. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Work has been really good lately. I've spent the last 2 days working in a full bunny suit clean room,
My
getting exposure to some
goodness.
parts. Yeah, it's been good. I've been good.
I saw the picture evidence, listeners, and this guy is not lying. So what are you checking out? I mean, why do you need to be in full garb?
So all of the equipment that we make at work has to be ultra clean because the tolerances are so tight. And so we have a full clean room in our first floor of our building. And so it's one of the ones where they have different barriers that you have to like sit on and swing your feet across, and each barrier you're supposed to have certain equipment on. By the time you get to the next barrier, from mask to head garb, full suit, giant socks that go up to your knees, special shoes to walk in there, safety glasses, latex gloves, like the full gambit, so that you don't contaminate the material. But I've been kind of just shadowing some of the other longer term engineers. Mayo, I got to
No
shadow.
way.
I've been shadowing, working with him a lot. Turns out we went to elementary school together. I had no idea. So it's just the little things of getting to see how things work in the lab and in the clean room, and getting more exposure to different parts and kind of seeing some of what my life is going to become over the next, year or two. It's just kind of wild.
Wow. And so for all you listeners out there who are going, Mayo, who? This is a old coworker. Shout out to Mayo, part of the Agilist squad, where we started our engineering careers. And if you haven't heard our engineering episode, Building Blocks to Engineering, feel free to go back. You'll get a little bit more insight into Sean and I and what we've done and how we've gotten to where we are now. So that's great, Sean. Awesome. And I can't wait to see where you're going. And shadowing is always fun. I saw the picture. I think you need to put that one up on the Instagram just to show. I don't know if that's allowed, actually.
I'm not totally sure. I'd have to clear it with my manager just to double check. I've been sending it to like a couple of key people. I made sure there was nothing in there that exposed to any machines or data or anything we have at work. It was just a picture of my face in full garb. But I'll clear it, and then if it's good, then I'll put it up.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully I didn't just get you into trouble. So hopefully they don't listen to this, or if you're not allowed to. But we're going to move into everybody's favorite subject, which is social media. So listeners, if you're new to the platform tonight, feel free to give us a little thumbs up. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, we'd really just appreciate a 5-star review. Feel free to share if you really enjoyed it. That's like the ultimate enjoyment sign, is when you share it. But yeah, we just appreciate you being here. We thank you. We do have a website and a Gmail. If you have direct feedback for either Sean or myself, you can reach out to us directly at our Gmail, and that's howtohobbypodcast@gmail.com. Sean is dialed into that and always willing to respond. We both really like to receive constructive criticism and or applause. So if you have things to share, that's a great way. We do have a website as well, howtohobbypodcast.com. And the Twitter and Instagram game has been going hot. Like we're pushing the envelope on that platform, and we have things coming out regularly. So that's at How to Hobby Podcast, and that's a good place to get engaged with some of our higher level content. Just real surface level. But tonight we are going through building blocks for cooking, listeners, and this is something that Sean and I are very passionate about. We've developed a passion for cooking and keeping a neat kitchen space. So we want to share some keys to success, like we always do tonight. And one of the biggest ones that we've talked about in the past and tonight is going to be starting small. So you don't want to, just like all of our major hobbies that we always talk through, you really don't want to overburden yourself by looking at the whole picture. So, I noted a couple fears at the beginning of the episode, like, oh man, am I going to burn it? Is it going to taste? Am I going to get sick? Really just go into this and start small. Start with things that you can just do by yourself. Get an onion, dice it. Get a major protein, try and cook it. Have a backup plan. I mean, these are very simple things that they can go very far. And at some point, you just got to go for it. My wife will tell you, Sean, and I think I've shared this story before, but I am guilty of cooking chicken and chili about in a month, probably like 8 times. So multiple times. Yeah, that's right. Multiple times a week, listeners, if you're doing the quick math there. And she got to a point where it's like, can we just stop with the chicken and the chili? I'm just like, we need to move on. And I was going, but I haven't mastered it yet. Anyway, so just hopefully you're not an engineer and getting into cooking, because
it can be overwhelming. We're perfectionists.
That's right. And you just keep going back to the same thing until it's right. So another big one. So yeah, start small, listeners. Trust yourself. This is something that is going to take some inner chutzpah. You're going to have to look inside yourself. I sound like and now I have a mustache. So it's like everything can come out very, like I'm like a grand poobah or something, but you trust yourself, listeners, because you really have to find it within yourself to go and be confident about what you're doing here, because you're not going to be good to start. It's just, we'll share some of our failures, some of the ways that we're just not great at cooking tonight. And it'll be funny. Like cooking chicken multiple times a week is not great, especially chili when your wife asks for lasagna. Like don't do that. So yeah, those are the first two. Man, I can't wait for the 2 remaining keys that Sean has developed in the brain here.
Oh yeah, I think that, like you said, starting small, trusting yourself, super great ways to get into cooking, especially if you're what I call an adult onset cooker. I think that it is something that if you grew up cooking, this is all might be a little too, easy for some people
Too
out there.
basic?
Too basic, maybe. But I think that if you're an adult onset cooker, some of these things you're having to figure out for yourself and can be kind of scary. And so my biggest thing is to embrace the scaries and just roll with it and understand that it's okay. Things are going to be okay. You can do it. And to fully understand that, use the resources that are out there to help yourself. In my opinion, YouTube is your friend. This is our last key to success. YouTube is your friend. Trust me, there are a million tutorials on how to do different things, from knife techniques to braising, searing, how to make sure the meat is safe, how to pick the good meat in the grocery store. Like, there are endless numbers of YouTube videos out there for you to watch to learn a lot of this stuff. So as John said, start small Start with meals that are inherently easier or harder to mess up. Trust yourself, roll with the process. You're going to make mistakes, and that's totally fine. Embrace the scaries and understand that you have resources out there. Google, and specifically YouTube, is your friend.
That's amazing. Listeners, I mean, listen to these things. I mean, we have so many resources when it comes to getting into the realm, into the ring is what I should say. I mean, you're getting into the ring with an opponent that is so vast, but we're gonna really we're gonna demystify it tonight. This is going to be a knife fight that you're gonna win, and we're gonna give you the keys. So tonight we always go through in our building block segments. If you haven't been listening, this is episode 62. I mean, we've been doing this since the start of the second quarter. So go back, listen to these building block episodes. We're breaking down what it takes to thrive in these various hobbies, activities, and mindsets. So this is no different. We're going to break down our current favorite tools, our tool belt objectives, and our all-time favorite tools regarding cooking. And I think we're going to be able to get you going. Hopefully, the goal tonight is to really just inspire you to get engaged, get in the ring with cooking. And if you really embrace some of these techniques, I think you're going to win the fight for all the fears, all the things that you've been putting off and scared. And I think one of the big ones, Sean, that before we even start into the current favorite tools is I think raw ingredients are scary to people.
Yeah.
And this is big, listeners, because, for instance, if you stay out of the prepackaged goods, if you're starting from scratch, you will save money. So this is also
100%
an inflation buster tip number one, right on the top of the episode here. Inflation's going places. Sean, I came back to Arizona. I'm back in Arizona, listeners. Last week, Sean and I were able to be face to face. It was wonderful. And I didn't have a mustache then. Now I do. So he was even through webcam, he was thrown off.
I was surprised. I was surprised.
He was like, I couldn't get my mic work. Everything was just in haywire tonight. But that's part of being a podcaster, and we had to fight through it. But I'm telling you, fight the inflation by going raw. This is something that will save you money. And one, Sean and I were actually talking about this last week off the mic. This was undisclosed. All right. We were talking through how expensive it is to eat out right now, and how much money because again, I think a lot of people, it's like they know that eating out is expensive, but compared to buying at the grocery store, if they're not consistently going to the grocery store, they may think it's only slightly more expensive to eat out. Well, let me tell you, it's like half the cost, if not more, depending on how much you're eating out. So just let that sink in. Sean and I were running through the numbers. I'm not going to give you every gory detail but we spent some time on travel, and we're talking through the numbers. It's scary out there, listeners. And Sean, I came back to Arizona, and believe it or not, gas here is dollar for dollar what it is in California.
Really?
That's
not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
With top 3 in the nation. I talked to my stats guy this morning. I was like, what is going on here? It's like, hey, we're top 3 in the nation. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So all I know is people around here need to cool it. And I'm riding my bike, listeners. So I'm not giving them any money. And this is just, I rode every day this week. Came back, got right on the bike. I'm not giving them money. But this is a conspiracy, and we need to stop it, Sean. All right. I'm getting off my soapbox.
But I think it is a really good point that inherently it is much cheaper to cook your meals and to especially go out and eat out. But even if you're going to buy prepackaged stuff, it is a lot cheaper to cook for yourself, especially if you have a family and you can buy in bigger bulk. You're buying from, say, Costco, and you're buying chicken and you're freezing half of it. Or even if you're buying for yourself, going and buying, 7 pounds of turkey, but freezing, 4 or 5 pounds of that and pulling it out as you need, it's a much better way to save money and cook for yourself. And that's the first benefit that pops up when you are cooking for yourself, is that it is cheaper. It's We could get into all the health benefits and everything, but we've talked about that before. But it is cheaper. But I think you have a good point. Getting to know your raw ingredients is super important. It's easier to start with, I think, veggies, because a lot of veggies are safe to eat cooked or raw. So you're not really worried about, am I cooking it all the way? Am I overcooking it? It's just, is it cooked to what you like? And then you can just leave it at that. Broccoli is a really good one, whether you like it steamed or oven roasted or completely raw. It's totally fine. It's safe to eat. So that's good to know. But also getting into your raw meats, understanding that the different temperatures for steak versus chicken or pork or lamb or whatever you end up cooking, whether you're doing venison because it's meat that you hunted. I think that getting to know those ingredients at heart are key, and it's not only better for how to cook them, but how to flavor everything so it pairs really well, the flavors that go well with it, the flavors that don't. I think you have a good point that, getting to know your raw ingredients is really key.
And I mean, I think this is kind of diving into my favorite tool. I kind of popped the lid off early, listeners. Sorry, but that is my favorite tool. And I think when I look at people that don't go to the store often, if I were to send somebody, for instance, say I send a DoorDasher, this is why I'm anti DoorDash, because that person has no affiliation or connection to the grocery that I'm requesting.
Mhm.
And I think it's very important that you are the one sourcing your own stuff. And that's what I mean by this. Like, you're the sole source proprietor. You have to view yourself as the tool to go out there and get the product. Because I'll tell you right now, there's not a restaurant in America that does not have a head chef that is inspecting every ingredient that comes into that place. It
Yep.
starts at the raw, and that is what produces the best meal at the end of the day. And if you send somebody who does not know ingredients and does not spend time, I'm telling you right now, you start inspecting. Put on your inspection hat. I love it. I'm an engineer. So, I mean, come on. This is like, I go to the store every week, and finding the good stuff in the mix of all of it is my
How, mu-
favorite part.
how many times have you had to dig to the bottom of something, say asparagus, to pick out
Oh, all the
either the
time. I
good
mean, I
ones
will,
or the ones that you want?
I'll touch. I'm a big, again, like once you get into it, you're going to pick up everyone in the batch and look at it. And you just start to inherently develop not only is it a palate for good ingredient, but it's also your eyes, your nose, all of your senses are utilized to purvey the greatest bit of the batch. And so whether it's eggs, and again, just stay away from, I'm telling you right now, like Sean said, once you go to prepackaged, the budget's already blown. Like, I've done it. I add a bunch. If I ever have to get, like, say we have people coming over and it's like, oh, well, we're going to need some prepackaged stuff. I'll go in the store and start, getting some of that stuff. Even just like 5 items added into the cart on top of just the raw standards, man, will blow the budget for the week. I mean, it's amazing how much, and everybody thinks this stuff is cheaper, but it's just not. And you want to know why? Because it's the sweat equity. You're putting the time into cutting this, into learning how to handle the ingredient, into learning what it looks like when it's best. I mean, all of these things. And so I'm just encouraging you listeners, why it's my current favorite tool is because I keep getting better every single week. It's like a constant refinement of the picking ability and learning about ingredients that are in season versus not in season. You will see it. You'll start to notice the trends. In the US, we're very lucky because a lot is always available, but it's good. And then like Sean said, your proteins, it's very important to start understanding how to cut protein, using full bone-in proteins. That's going to save you money. I mean, a bone-in chicken thigh is going to be $1.99 a pound versus deboned chicken breast, which is arguably the same quality of meat, just going to be triple the cost. And honestly,
Mhm.
you can go to stores and look that and you will see. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but this is just the first aspect that I think you need to start to engage with and be willing to go through the process of making mistakes, not picking the right thing, and learning what to pick.
Yep.
So,
I absolutely agree. And this could be a good one to, we're trying to say, start small here. So, maybe for the next week, as you are eating food, whether it's you're ordering in or you are buying pre-made meals, whether it's frozen or microwaved or whatever, go and just look at some of the ingredients, and then kind of while you're going to the store, go, I'm going to go buy this, say, Hungry Man meal. And then I'm also going to go see, okay, if I were going to try and make this myself, I would need, okay, some chicken, some onions, some shallots, some whatever it is, and then just go start exploring the fresh food area. You don't have to get into it immediately, but just start seeing what is out there. How much would it cost if you're going to buy an onion, you're going to buy this, buy that, and start comparing it against. I think that's a good way to start small.
yeah,
My
I mean, don't vary your routine too
Yeah,
drastically. Do
exactly.
not diverge out of your comfort zone. If you feel like you got a good handle on it, then by all means, stay within that ring, and then try and develop a meal a week. It's the same as, like, I would equate it to commuting. You're not just going to start commuting all 5 days. You're gonna start by maybe 1 to 2 days a week. So commit to having 1 to 2 meals a week being made by you, and see how that goes.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, you never heard it from us.
Yeah. You heard it from another podcast. No, I think that's a good way to get into it. And my current favorite tool, and I think this is a great place for people to start, is having simple rotatable meals. And I don't know if that's a word, but rotatable meals in that you pick a couple of solid proteins. Maybe it's going to be chicken for a while. Like I know you draw on the chicken and chili. I think having these rotatable meals where you're using the same ingredients so that you are getting the experience of mastering it, but you're maybe changing the flavors or the marinades or the way you're cooking, whether it's going to be in a pan or on a grill. I think that picking these simple things and then rotating every week, cooking the same thing in a different way would be a really good intro to get into, say, mastering chicken, which inherently chicken is a scary thing for a lot of people because of the risk of salmonella, and is it undercooked? And if I overcook it, it's going to be too dry. And it's just finding this good happy medium. So maybe pick chicken and just say, I'm going to pick, there's 4 weeks this year. Let's say there's 4 or 5 Fridays this month. Every Monday or Friday, I'm going to make a chicken meal, and it's going to be something different: dry rub, wet marinade. I'm going to barbecue it. I'm going to oven roast it, and just start experimenting with that stuff and having these meals that you can master, and then just change the flavor. I mean, if you get really, really good at cooking chicken in the oven, it doesn't really matter what flavorings on it, it'll cook the same. So then you can start playing with flavorings, what you're adding to it, maybe some of the sides. So my thing, recommend pick some simple rotatable meals that you can just cycle through and start experimenting with stuff.
No, I love that, Sean. And you'll start to understand, listeners. Sean brought up a good one, like chicken in the oven. So if there's a pristine, if you're gonna try a chicken in the oven, I would recommend starting with bone-in chicken thigh.
Oh
You
yeah.
can roast the ever living life out of a bone-in chicken
Till it's
thigh,
210 degrees.
and that thing will come out as juicy as you've ever tasted. And so
Yep.
it's like there are little things that little tips and tricks. And if you have questions, like, please use our Gmail. Like, we want to provide you with value. So feel free to reach out full time. I mean, we'll give you a ring back. So yeah, I love that, Sean. Keep it simple, and don't do the same thing every time, but definitely try to utilize things and get to know spices like salt and pepper, very basic stuff. So, as far as tool belt objectives, Sean, I'll be honest with you, and I'll be honest with the listenership. I get sometimes kind of stuck in a rut because right now I'm in a pretty intense programmatic cycle in my work. And so by the time you get home and you've been grinding for, a long time, I'm not going to say how long because I don't like comparing how long people work. But you get home and you've definitely put in the time. You're exhausted. So the motivation to continue to push and understand how to do things better and stay like diversify your cooking skill it's pretty tough. So my current tool belt objective is to continue to stay motivated to try new recipes and continue to pursue the art because you get it's like and hobbies, Sean. It's like an up and down, and then you sort of get to like a plateau where you feel like you're good, but then you can either go down or keep going up. And I feel like I'm on the plateau right now with this specific hobby of cooking and learning how to do the skill better, but I'm not pursuing any new stuff. And so it's an interesting time in Phoenix because it's summer. It's now
Hmm.
100 every day. So the oven is out. Like the oven is out. It's slow cooker. Tonight we did slow cooker chicken thigh actually with barbecue sauce. And then we put it
Nice.
on. When you pull it, you can kind of pull the chicken, sort of becomes like a faux pulled pork. And we
Hmm.
did tacos. You just put it on like a corn tortilla, and that's kind of it. But you have to get kind of creative, and but also it limits you as well. So you have to really push to want to be creative with your cooking. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I want to stay motivated to continue to push the art and learn more and do hard things.
Yeah,
So
I think that is a really good goal, and again, I don't understand what you're going through with the kids and the job. I can't imagine it, but I think that maybe picking some new, really, really, really easy, simple meals would be a way to like satiate your want to try new things. And if you're interested, John, let me know, and I can shoot you some really
send
easy
me.
meals that we do. That might be a little different than what you got, but yeah, I think finding small things to get started. Again, start small. You know, some of the listeners may have crazy jobs or have kids as well, and they're struggling, to get that motivation. Again, just send us an email. We'll send you some of like our top 5 simplest meals that we do that are really flavorful. So, well, we've got some good resources out there.
No, I like it. And Sean, let me ask you a question right here. What is your favorite? I mean, we would attest to be pretty competent chefs,
Mhm.
but what is your favorite meal flavor profile? Like what is
I
that ingredient that when it's in a dish, you're like, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna just sing.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce. Okay.
Soy sauce has been my thing since I was a kid. I grew up in a house very focused on Asian style food. Me and my parents lived in Japan for 6 years. My brother and I were both born there. And so that has always played a key in a lot of the meals that I was raised with. I mean, we had white rice and soy sauce with probably 3 out of every 5 meals until I was 16, 17 years old. I mean, my entire life. I mean, that was everything because it was easy, super easy. Just throw it on the stove, boil it, and it's done in 20 minutes. But we would do wasabi with soy sauce, butter and soy sauce. I mean, to me, that is the ingredient that just makes everything good. I made a meal 2 weeks ago, week ago, where we made asparagus and drizzled some soy sauce over the top of that. And I straight up could not stop eating the asparagus. It was just so good. I love soy sauce. So for me, the that kind of umami salty flavor of soy sauce is an ingredient that I really like to incorporate. I also really like citrus. That's another one that I really, really like to cook with and eat. So for me, that salty umami from soy and the like zing of good lime or lemon juice just pairs really well, especially with like chicken. I think
Oh yeah.
it just goes so well.
I know it's like the simple things like acid,
Yep.
um, kind of heat, and so I'll tell you mine, Sean. I just love a good any type of like bowl style that's heated up on
Mm.
the skillet. Like it could be anything. It could be like a rice based dish. It could be more of like a veggie based dish, but with the protein of an egg on top, like a
Ooh.
perfectly cooked medium egg and you kind of can split it and let the yolk like drizzle into
Mhm.
everything. Man, that is like, I don't care when, and I have this epiphany every so often when I have this meal, and I'll just be like, you know what? And this comes one of my favorite tools, listeners. And I heard this from Melissa Clark, Sean, but her tagline was, "There's always eggs." It does not matter. You could be coming home from a trip. There's always eggs.
Mhm.
And that has stuck with me because my goodness, is it not only there's always eggs, but like eggs are excellent. I mean, it's like just throw them on anything. It doesn't matter for like lunch, dinner, breakfast. It is one of the perfect
They are one of
gifts.
the most versatile foods out there. It's like a rice. It goes with, like you said, it goes with almost anything. There's feels like an infinite way to cook it. Even the cooking medium will change. Like you can do scrambled eggs in a
Yeah.
hex clad, which is like the ceramic pan, or in a Teflon pan, or in a cast iron, and it'll taste and feel different each way. Me and my brother does these really good soft scrambled eggs. So
Oh,
they're like the
that's the play.
yeah. I mean, there's
Soft
like you could
scrambled eggs.
spread them on a
Creamy.
piece of toast. Exactly, spread them on a piece of toast like butter. I mean, it's you're right, eggs go with pretty much every meal.
And yeah, I mean, anyway, so that's like one place to start, listeners. I mean, again, just like there's these simple, very basic, you always have it staple ingredients, and
Mhm.
you could just start to literally, even like sauces, Sean. I've thought about sauces a lot, and how that I think that's an area where I could improve, because you always look at like people. If you watch chefs, they always have a blender out and they're always making some type of
Yep.
sauce and or compote, or thing to like go on the side of the dish to enhance the flavor and give you that different creamy texture, along with the crunchy or the sweet or whatever other thing they're trying to do. And so I just, man, I mean, that's, I think, an area personally where I could I could improve. But so tell me about your current tool belt objective that you got in the brewing.
Yeah, something that I wanna do more of is kinda learning more about the science and art of grilling effectively. I think right now, because 'cause I've grown up with propane grills. A grill to me right now is just something you turn it on to get it really hot, throw the meat in there, flip it eventually, meat thermometer it, and then take it off. There's no I'm not I don't understand the science of indirect versus direct heat, working with charcoal versus open flame. I mean, when my dad and I sat in the backyard and I cooked that meat on that grate over the open flame, it was so wild to me having to understand to rotate the coals, having to understand how the heat was going to be affected. Like, oh, I flipped it, but the coals haven't been rotated in a while, so they're not as hot. So this side just isn't cooking as well, or trying to do that indirect heat of moving to the side just to keep them warm, or try and cook them to the center, but the outside's already seared. Like the science of grilling is something that I want to learn more about, and I think is slightly more advanced, for any listeners out there who are just getting started. This grilling is kind of intimidating because there's like this stigma around grilling as like a manly man thing, and you have to learn how to do it. And if you do it poorly, people are going to judge you. Like I think that it could be a very intimidating task, but that's what I want to get better at is understanding the grill and not I don't want to see the grill as just another oven. Like I want to see it as its own tool that I can use and let an oven be a hot box where you cook your stuff in there and let the grill be its own thing where you can perfect it. That's my goal.
No, that's awesome, man. And I think you should. I love it. I mean, I've talked with a couple people. This guy that I was talking with recently, he was so into grilling, and that definitely is. It's a whole other side of it. I think, even with the thermometer based, there's so many ways you can learn to enhance and not necessarily lean on all the tech. Like, it really isn't as simple as, oh, you hit it to 165.
Mhm.
Like, there is some science behind it, listeners, and I recommend Kenji J. Lopez Alt's book. Um, what is it? Food Kitchen. I forget. I'll put it in the link in the description. Um, but it's a great book because he talks through the science of how long you need to have a meat hit a minimum of 150 before it's good.
Mhm.
It's not even like 165 is just industry standard. But again, these are like little things you learn. Oh, sorry, it's called Food Lab, Sean and listeners. But I'll put the link in the description. So Food Lab. And there's another one that we always recommend, which is Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat by
Yep. So I
uh,
mean,
Samin Nosrat. Is that how you say it, Sean?
yes, that is.
Good.
Yeah. I would highly recommend her book. Yeah, it's
It's great.
or the Netflix show. So if you want to start with Netflix and then get the book, that's the way that I did it. If you want to get the book, move into Netflix, it'd be a really cool way to put a spin on it. But yeah, definitely look at Samin's stuff.
Oh, it's awesome. So we have a new segment, listeners. We're going to take a little break here. This one's called It's Payday. We know you're listening from around the world, and we thank you for that. And we know that you are stoked because you're listening on a Friday and it's payday. So congratulations to everybody who has a well-paying job. And for those that don't, keep at it because you will be there and you'll be feeling the pain of having a job, but you'll get payday, and that's good. So Sean and I have been talking through this. What do we have on the list and what do we got going on? So Sean's going to start us off tonight with his exciting payday wish list. This can be anything under the sun, and it's just things that we have going on in our own lives. So we hope you enjoy.
Yeah. So for me, I've got two. I know I talked about it last week, but an apartment has been on my payday list for a while,
That's
the
right.
want list. Some news. I'm actually going to go look at an apartment on Saturday that is actually shares a wall with Ali and Vicente's apartment.
Oh my goodness.
So
No
they
way.
actually have a unit available in their building, and Ali is the property manager. So I texted her today on Kate's suggestion. So thank you for that. And
Nice.
they do have a one bed, one bath available. She jokes it happens to share a wall with them. So we're gonna go check it out on Sunday. So that has been at the top of my list lately. But a big thing that I
Wow.
did,
Sean, let me just cut in. I'm just a little bummed you're not going to be in RB area
yeah,
near ASML,
I
but
tried really hard. I went and looked at a place today in RB. It's too far past my budget.
is it really expensive?
Yeah, I mean, I went and looked at a one bed, one bath, 726 square feet in unit washer dryer. You pay water, sewage, trash, so that's a separate bill. There's one parking spot
You pay
free.
it
Yep, you pay, just
in
wait.
an apartment?
You pay it. So water, sewage, trash, you pay it. The parking spot, you get one free, one additional is $50 per month. And the rent for this one bed, one bath, not newly renovated. They have newer renovated units. This is the cheaper one, was $2,600 a month for 726 square feet.
$2,600 a month.
$2,600 a month, plus utilities, so probably at least
Yeah,
another
so
100.
technically you're at like 3 grand probably, or
Yeah,
like, like
pretty.
by the time you get
You're
there, you're
you're at about
practically 3 grand.
you're at about 2,800 if you include renter's insurance and everything there. And yes, I would have been closer to work, so I could have probably biked. It was only about 4.5 miles to the office, but that doesn't quite offset. And I mean, it's crazy how expensive it is there. This just
Weird.
happened to kind of, I know, land in my lap, and so I'm gonna check it out. And I won't be able to bike to work, but I kind of had to, realistically look at that, realize that it just wasn't going to happen for what I want. And if I want to have the freedom to move out into an apartment, I kind of had to make that decision of what was more important, living in a place or being able to bike to work. So that's my big thing. And then the last thing I just want to quickly touch on for any of my gamers out there, I decided last week to buy a PlayStation 5. And I am now getting
Heyo.
getting back into gaming. So I'm going from, no joke, going from an Xbox 360 that I think we bought in 2007 to a PS5. When I played
Oh,
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on, I think it was Tuesday night. Yeah, it was Tuesday night. Uh, it felt like I was watching a movie because I'm not used to having high definition at this level before. So yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I bought a PS5
wow.
and I'm going to be spending some time getting into gaming a little bit more.
Wait. So did you get like a bundle or did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, so I bought a bundle. It was the PS5, one controller, and the cross-gen bundle for Modern Warfare 2. So it comes with all of the side downloadable stuff that you could normally buy. So I ended up saving myself about 50 bucks in total by doing the bundle. And I actually bought it through PlayStation's website. So I could have gone and gotten it through like Best Buy or whatever, but I found out that Best Buy was charging full price for the PS5 and the game, whereas the PlayStation website was selling it at a discount. So I went ahead and just went through PlayStation, had it shipped in rather than going through Best Buy. So sometimes getting that instant gratification of being able to walk away with it in hand, you could have saved like 50, 60 bucks by just waiting a couple of days and ordering it in.
I, I'm with you, Sean. This is wonderful. So wow, congratulations. Welcome back to the family. That's great. I thought you were going to get a PC, but
I
I'll let.
thought about it, but the games that I want to play aren't available on PC. A lot of them are PlayStation exclusives. And so I had to kind of make that decision, Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, and I ended up going to PlayStation. Doesn't mean I won't have, a really nice PC eventually, but for now I got to start with PS5. That comes with everything built into it.
Well, and so I'm just yeah, we'll have to talk and nerd out a little bit post podcast at some point to hear your. I'm just curious. I'm always curious about gaming and why people choose a certain thing
Mhm.
because I understand PS has been killing it since PS4, but I'm just interested in what drove you to that decision and I still am a Microsoft fan, but I do acknowledge live they've let me down. I mean, this is their hardware. I mean, Xbox One was an absolute trash heap. I mean, it was just not good. So Xbox 360, oh, chef's
Yep,
kiss.
yep,
But
yep.
but but they just sunk it. And then PS4 came out and it was like, oh wow, that's really good. And then PS5 came out. And it's like, oh yeah, that's good. So anyway, I'm a PC gamer now, listeners, so I don't have to really think about it at all. But congratulations, Sean. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So my current on the want list, listeners, is the Echo Sun hoodie. This is my do it all anti-sun measure for Phoenix, Arizona. So I do a lot of riding, a lot of biking, and it all takes place during the summer. And so I need to have something to kind of keep myself sun free. And this is my method of doing it because I don't like wearing a ton of sunblock for an hour ride. It's just kind of annoying to lather up. So this keeps my arms clean and my the rest of my body good. And it's a really great method for sweat wicking as well. So Echo Sun Hoodie by Outdoor Research. Highly recommend the product. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out. Great layer for hiking and do it all. So, Sean, let's finish up tonight with our all-time favorite tools. These are things that we've utilized throughout our cooking career, and we couldn't go without.
Yep.
So, do you want to start off?
Yeah, yeah, I'll go for it. So my top all-time favorite tools are things that address some of the biggest fears that people have. Some of the things that I've heard from friends and family who, are just getting into cooking, the things that they're scared of. Things like I'm scared of my knife. I'm worried I'm going to cut myself, or I'm worried I'm going to undercook the chicken and it's not going to be cooked fully, or I'm worried I don't know what I'm doing and how to debone something or how to prep the meat before it goes in the pan. So, my biggest thing, absolutely, we've talked about it before, but get an instant read thermometer. It is
Oh yeah.
the most important tool in the kitchen. I know, John, you've got your brand that I think is like really, really nice. I don't think I've
Oh yeah.
invested quite as much money as you have. I think we usually go for something
It
on
was a
Amazon,
gift.
but it's exact. Yeah, it was a gift. It's get an instant read thermometer. You can get them for as cheap as like 15 bucks on Amazon for, they're still a really good product. It's
Oh,
it's it's the fastest way to take the guesswork out of meat and take that worry out when you like you were saying, you can cook the bejesus out of chicken thigh and it'll still be good. You put that thermometer in and it reads like 195 when you were shooting for 165. Instant way to feel better about it. Or you're like 167, you're like, cool, this is great. I could cook it a little more if I wanted to, if I really wanted to make myself feel better, but I don't have to because it is fully cooked. So absolutely recommend getting an instant read thermometer. And then when you're talking about the knife skills or I don't know how to say break down a chicken, or I don't know how to cook in cast iron, or I don't know, whatever, I highly, highly, highly recommend looking into things like Sur La Table cooking classes or whatever your local is. I don't know if Williams Sonoma does cooking classes, something like that, that you can work with a professional and they can teach you in a safe environment how to break stuff down, how to properly cut things, how to properly prepare, how to make sure it's fully cooked. I mean, like we mentioned, there's always YouTube. I think that's a really good place to start, but I would highly recommend finding just some local cooking classes in your area. Even they'll be able to answer your questions of, I'm still terrified of my knife. What should I do? And they say, you know what? You can go get like the shark skin gloves that they use in professional kitchens when they're preparing boatloads of chopped stuff, and you can't cut yourself with that. You don't have to be worried. Like, they are the people that will give you the really good information because they work with newbies to cooking all of the time. So instant read thermometer, 100% a must need, and look for some good local cooking classes. Sur La Table offers them if you have those in your area. It's basically in every local mall that we have in San Diego. And they have everything from baking to Italian meals. I took the class on how to break down a full chicken and make a bunch of meals out of it. Each class usually comes with a knife skills portion, but they also have specific advanced knife skills classes that they offer. I mean, it's amazing. The best way to get comfortable with cooking is to just do it and to just cook more and more and more. And taking a class is a great place to start.
Oh, I agree. And that's great, Sean. I think we've talked about this at length in other episodes, and we hope you've taken our advice and if not, we'll take it here tonight because this will alleviate a lot of your fears. So my top tool, all-time favorite tool is the chef's knife. You can use it for everything in the kitchen. So
Oh yeah.
get yourself one good chef's knife and you will never look back. It's and honestly, anything from 80 to 130 bucks is going to fit the bill. You can go, and I would recommend, like Sean said, go to Sur La Table or Williams Sonoma or Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn doesn't have cooking stuff, but go to these places and they have a knife rack. Like you can go and feel them. Yeah, I've gone in there and been like, hey, I want to hold that knife. And they'll
Yep.
bring out stuff for you to cut. They'll be like, hey, let me get it. I'll get a carrot, and you can feel what it feels like. Get a good grasp on what a good knife is like, and then invest in the tools to maintain it. And you will not look back. I've had the same knife, been cooking with the same knife for, I don't even know at this point, probably 4 years since I got it. No problems. And I do need to sharpen it. So I'm looking for a good sharpening kit, Sean, if you have a
I I
recommendation.
I do. I'd recommend a Spyderco kit. That's what I have that I use to
Oh,
sharpen like my pocket knives and stuff. They do have a setting for the different angles, and it has the pocket knife angle, and then one is used for kitchen knives and stuff. So
perfect.
I'll send you a link to the one that I have.
Sounds good. And then again, I do second Sean's instant read thermometer recommendation. Use that a lot. It gives you a lot more confidence, especially with meats. And meats is the big one. Like if you're trying to impress a nice lady or man and cook some meat, you want to do it right. So this is something that can really get you. And look, like there are things online that show you how to properly take the temperature of a meat. Like a chicken thigh can be tight. You have to go in at a certain angle and at a certain place on the cut. So it's great. And Sean already recommended YouTube as like a favorite tool during this. Key to success at the beginning. So utilize that. I mean, I've gone in, for instance, I was cooking chicken wings for the first time, or it was like maybe second or third time. But every time I buy raw chicken wings, it's not one of the ones that I typically debone on
Hmm.
consistently.
Yep.
And you have to cut the wing, listeners. So it's not like when you get a chicken, like a raw chicken wing, and then you have to make the wing part. for to throw in the oven. You have to debone certain or separate certain parts of the bird, the tips. You cut all the tips off, and you cut a couple other things. But without YouTube, I wouldn't know how to do it every time. And then I go on there and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. And then it's like cutting butter. I mean, it's once you know the technique, it's so easy. But when you don't, it feels like you're cutting through cement. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I'd highly recommend going back on that tool belt objective. I did throw my ThermaPen in the show notes link below, and that is on sale right now, actually, Sean, believe it or not. Instead of $100, it's 75. So
That's a good deal. It's a good deal.
it is a good deal because it's unbelievably reliable and it's like waterproof and all the things. But like Sean said, go on Amazon. You could probably find something cheaper. I just can't attest to the quality. I got mine as a gift. Thank you, sister. That was awesome. So listeners, thank you so much. This has been an unbelievable time tonight talking through one of our favorite things that we like to talk through, which is cooking and our building blocks tonight. We hope you found value in them. Sean, do you have any other things you want to add before we kind of shut it down?
No, not really. I think we've done a good job of covering it all. The basic is don't worry, don't be scared. Pick some simple meals, work your way slowly into it, and you'll be shocked in 6 months how many meals you're actually cooking for yourself and recognizing what you like, what you don't like, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. I think that
Yeah,
seeing and noticing those things it's taking all of the power and putting it back in your hands.
100%. We want you to feel good, listeners. I think at the end of it, that's a great point, Sean. This is something that will transform your life if you give it time. You will feel better. You'll understand what good food is.
Yep.
And when you go out, like Sean and I talk about this from time to time, we go out now and we realize we could probably do as good of a job at home as we've just ingested out in the field of really expensive cuisine. Now, again, don't eliminate eating out or your favorite thing, but this is something that will change your life and you will feel better for it. So thank you so much for listening. We're going to put some show notes in the description below for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at our Gmail. We thank you. Thanks for listening. As always, this will be coming out during our Friday hours of operation, 6 a.m. We always put it out then. It's payday. And you know where to find us on the platform at the How to Hobby podcast.